one of the first things to look out for when you're starting your journey of purchasing a property is to make sure you know what you can spend in terms of finances. My recommendation would be make an appointment with your bank, your mortgage broker. What they'll do is they'll fill out an application form. They'll go through all the criteria of what's important. So your P60s, your up-to-date bank statements, your pay slips. There's a number of different important pieces of information you'll need to give them. And from that information, they'll be able to put together your application and give you your approval in principle. Now, that approval in principle will actually last for about 3 to 6 months, depending on which bank you go with. Secondly, when you're starting that journey, what's really important is that you speak to a good solicitor. Get a recommendation from a friend, speak to colleagues, maybe talk to 2 or 3 solicitors, get an idea of what they charge. What I usually say is the cheapest solicitor isn't necessarily the best, because you want someone who's going to act promptly when you do find that dream property. So once your offer has been accepted on a property, there'll be a few key things that the agent will actually ask you for. The first of which is a booking deposit. Now, usually a booking deposit will be around 3% of the purchase price. That will be made payable to the estate agent or to the solicitor, and that will be a fully refundable booking deposit until you actually sign contracts. Secondly, what they'd be looking for will be a bank valuation. So your actual financial institution will instruct a valuer to go out to the property and do a bank valuation on that particular property. And thirdly, it's important to get a survey. It's independent, it will cost you a few €100, but it's the best investment you'll actually make, because it'll give you peace of mind, and you're going into you're going into the transaction with your eyes wide open, so you'll know if there's any issues and how you can deal with those issues there. So the next step of the buying process will involve your solicitor. At this stage, you'll have paid down your 3% booking deposit, which is still refundable. The estate agent handling the sale of the property that you've agreed upon will take your solicitor's details and will write out to your solicitor and to the other solicitor with details of the agreed price, any items that are included, and then a proposed closing date as well. At this point, your solicitor will get a set of contracts from the vendor solicitor. We'll read through the contracts, and when they're happy with the title, we'll call you in for a meeting. Within that meeting, what will happen is they'll go through your loan pack from the financial institution. Once you're happy with the terms there, they'll ask you to sign on that loan pack. They'll secondly go through the contract on the property that you are going to purchase, make sure you're happy with the contract, and ask you to sign on that contract. At this stage, you will pay the balance of the 10%. And it's at this stage, when the contracts are sent back, that it becomes non-refundable, and it's a binding agreement between the 2 parties. Final step of the buying process involves the closing of the deal. So it's important at this stage that you've made sure you've got your life policy in place, you've got your house insurance in place. All of those type of things are crucial. Once you get to the closing day, you'll get a phone call from the solicitor letting you know that the property is closed. Now, a set of keys will either be available in the solicitor's office or at the local estate agent's office. What I'd always say is make sure you get all the set of keys that are out there. One key thing is that you will make sure you've got the alarm code, if there is an alarm code for the property, and also just set up new accounts for your gas and your electric. So you take the new meter readings once you arrive at the property, so you can start things fresh straight away.
The main costs you must consider when purchasing a property are your stamp duty, that is 1% of the purchase price, up to €1 million, and 2% on the balance above. The second cost you must consider are your solicitor's fees. I'd recommend shopping around and talking to friends and colleagues for recommendations. And your third and fourth fees would be your surveyor and valuer's fees. There are recurring costs that you must consider before purchasing a property. They are your life insurance, your home insurance, your electricity, gas and water, your property tax, and your management fees where applicable.